Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode number 172 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So if you feel like you don't have enough time or you don't have enough energy to do the things that you really want to do, you're likely feeling overwhelmed in your daily life. And this is why having some kind of daily rituals is so important. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, the rituals that you choose set the tone for how productive you feel, the mindset you have, and your overall well-being. And so in today's episode, I'm going to guide you through the art of crafting impactful daily rituals that can transform your days and, by extension, your life. So first off, last week was our healing and embodiment retreat in New York. We went through career changes, life changes, how to make the transition from the way we live today, the way we work today, to the ways we want to live and work tomorrow, starting businesses, transitioning into new roles, creating more time for family, for mental health, for well-being. We ate plant-based foods. We moved our bodies every day. We learned about ourselves and we connected with the amazing group that we had. And overall, all of that improved our well-being. And we had way more energy afterwards to be even more productive and to be even more inspired when we return with real life, actionable plans, guys, that you can actually put into place for that next leg of your journey for your life, how they're going to show up on Monday, on Tuesday, and so on. And often we go away on vacations and trips, and we actually feel the need to come back and reset to do all of that kind of work because the way we live and the way we think and feel on these getaways aren't necessarily moving our mind, body, soul, or careers forward. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that my daily rituals are standard. So when I go away, when I leave behind the place, the people, the source of where certain activities take place, where I'm used to being, I don't leave behind the things that help me feel good and at peace. And this is possible for you as well. You don't have to start over every other week because you went away for the weekend or you took a trip. And the power of daily rituals allows me to travel, to work remotely, to still take care of my mind, body, soul, to be there for my clients and for the people in my life. So to start, let's explore what daily rituals are and why they matter. Daily rituals are intentional practices that you incorporate into your routine, often with the aim of enhancing your physical, your mental, your emotional, or your spiritual well-being. And there is a role to play for the art of being consistent. When you have rituals daily, they create this sense of stability and this rhythm in your life. This is why when you go away or you come back, it's easier to be able to return to the routine because you know it, you have it, and it's something that you can take with you and plug and play other places. When you have consistency in your daily routines, that means that you're eliminating all the thousands of decisions that you have each day. You know what, you know where, you know when something's going to happen. You have pre-decided and you're committed to the result for the long term, no matter how long it takes. And this is where the process, the thing you're doing, matters more than the outcome. You show up to the gym, to the hike, to the trail, to the run, to the task, to the planning of the day, to the appointment, always. And there is a difference So I want to share that we might have habits, but they're not rituals. So rituals are things that you do and you have intentions behind them. They're meaningful and they orient you perhaps towards specific goals or intentions in your life. Whereas habits are automatic in nature and are usually just a response to a trigger. For example, you might have a habit of automatically reaching for a cup of coffee as soon as you wake up, but a ritual could be to engage in a morning meditation to set the tone for your day. Another example of a habit is just mindlessly scrolling through social media during your free moments. I've been guilty of that. But a ritual would be lighting a candle, would be spending time journaling as a way to reflect and process your thoughts, maybe going for a walk. So both habits and both rituals involve repeated actions, things that you do again and again, but rituals tend to be just more intentional. They are something that is mindful and often very meaningful, and they are usually associated with these symbolic markers and demarcations of what we value, and they express what we value, and they express different times of the day or different components in our life. Whereas habits are more of these automatic behaviors that can be both positive and negative, but they're not necessarily connected to a conscious intention or to a specific emotional experience. So let's talk about crafting your morning ritual. They say how you start your morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. So let's dive into the components of a powerful morning ritual. Here's some of the ways that you can consider entering your morning ritual, and you can build upon these components. So the first one is the mindful wake up, really starting your day with intention, with gratitude. Many of us forget, we just rush into our days. We don't even consider what is coming up and how we want to show up. We're in these autopilot or habit mode kind of ways of behaving. And we're in that for most of our day. And then we're surprised when everything feels the same. The same problems, same responsibilities keep coming up again and again. That's how you know you are in a more automatic response versus a more mindful, intentional starting of the day. So just the way you wake up is a powerful moment in time that you can actually shift your intention to have a better relationship with your day. Another thing to consider is movement and exercise. There are so many benefits to incorporating physical activity into your morning routine, whether it is the ability to get outside, to connect with nature, to ground, to release pent up energy, to release stress and tension. Movement and exercise is a powerful way to create stronger mental health, right? A stronger mind and body. And then there's mindfulness and meditation. This is another one of the components to a morning ritual. You can cultivate a sense of calm and a more focused mindset through meditation or mindfulness practices. There's so much research that shows that the ability to focus improves with mindfulness meditations. This is where we go deeper in my coaching programs. When you can change the way that your mind reacts to stress, to distraction, to problems, you are literally changing the course of your life. You're changing the decisions that you make because the way that you respond shifts. The way you respond to people, the way you respond to places, to situations, and to things. And you're going to find greater sense of clarity and peace and a drop in stress in your daily life when you have more and more of these moments where you can get quiet, where you can have that mindful time to cultivate even more this practice. And I say it's a practice because life offers us many opportunities and ways to not have intentional moments and to face a lot of the struggles and the surprises and the unexpected moments of stress that pop up. And so when you can do that, your anxiety decreases, your sense of agency and empowerment increases. It is a win-win, and it's not a short-term fix, but it is a long-term change in the way that your brain works. And then beyond the morning, when you think about nurturing your mind, nurturing your soul, you can have all these other habits and rituals that nurture this aspect. So the first one is creative expression. So if you think of activities like journaling, like drawing, like playing a musical instrument, these are things that take you out of your daily way of going on autopilot and cultivating a different side of your brain that enables you to think with more of that combined right brain, left brain. It allows you to tap into, again, that sense of creativity. Literally, you are tasked, if you are a leader, to create. You're creating solutions, you're creating new ways of working, new businesses, new lines of revenue, even new ways to interact with humans. So the ability for you to cultivate and spend time doing creative activities allows you to engage that part of your brain that's not just on autopilot, rinse and repeat, copy and paste mode, but is in that slower place where you're making new neural connections. Also, learning and growth, actually allocating time for reading, for podcasting, for listening to and learning through online courses or coaching or training. Connecting with nature is another way to really spend time with your mind and your soul. So when you go outside, when you ground yourself in nature, you see the beauty of the natural world. And that's often where so much of our inspiration comes from. There is a energetic frequency of the earth that when you actually take off your shoes and you connect and you touch the ground, it actually moves into our body. It reduces inflammation. And it is one of the most powerful, underutilized aspects that we actually have. You can always go outside. You can always do something. Even they've shown studies where even just looking at nature, like the pictures of trees, you don't even have to look at real nature. You can look at pictures, have proven benefits for us as well. So those screensavers have something to them. If they're on your screen, there's a reason for that. All right. There can be more rituals. So think about rituals for productivity. We go really deep in this in my coaching program, but simple ideas like just spending time thinking about time blocking, which is structuring your days with dedicated hours of focused work, or considering how you can eliminate distractions and have more focus in your day to day so that you can work on the most important tasks instead of just mindlessly working constantly all day long. You can work for less, but more focused periods of time where you get the most out of the time that you have. And then start to consider the evening period. When you think about reflection and rest, there are many evening rituals. So as the day winds down, these rituals can help you transition into more of that peaceful evening and prepare you for really restful sleep. And these are things that we've had to do with our kids, especially those that might be more prone to anxiety, even if you're not a child. But as your children start to adapt to the world around them and start to internalize all the thoughts, the messages, the pressure, the things that have to be done, there are tools to manage it. And there are ways to not succumb to it, but you have to actively practice it. And so these rituals can become one of the ways. And a couple of them, I have many that we've used, but taking a moment to reflect on what went well, the accomplishments from the day, a sense of gratitude for what is going well in your life and what is working is always a good practice to have at the end of the day. And same with a digital detox. This is something that I've been practicing that has helped me transition to earlier morning wake ups, is realizing that when I would get on the phone late at night, I would stay on longer and I would go to sleep later. So if I want to get up earlier, I know for me, it's not just going to sleep earlier. It's the thing that keeps me from going to sleep earlier, which is often the devices, whether it's work or whether it is the phone. So disconnecting from screens before bedtime to actually promote relaxation. And then with all of this, we are not robots. So there is an art to personalizing all of these rituals. These are personal and there is no one size fits all. So here's some of the ways that you can actually tailor your rituals to your unique needs and your preferences. So the first one is having a sense of self-discovery. This means that you're not just going to get prescribed a ritual and this is what you do. You're going to experiment with a few different ones and help you decide what you're going to prioritize and what you want to start with first. Notice how they feel. What is the impact to your daily life? Can you quantify the impact to your peace, to the amount of sleep that you're getting, to your bodily functions in terms of the ability to wake up at a certain time, how much energy you have throughout the day, or even your ability to get tasks done when you said you would? So I've personally been refining mine for years because things change, and they have been the cornerstone for me to feel more confident and more sure of myself at work and at home. Because instead of trying to just run through your day with no sense of what works for you, you're really sure about what works for you and how to customize it based on what's going on. And then you have to be flexible. It's easy to let those rituals dictate our day instead of it having it serve us. So don't forget that they serve you, not the other way around. So as you evolve, they must evolve too. And I promise you, you're going to find something that works better when your circumstances, schedules, life changes. Sometimes you have kids, and that changes when you wake up, when you go to sleep, what you're doing in your day to day. Sometimes you have to pick different activities and different ways of doing the things. And the less we resist it, the more we just get to the business of doing what actually can work and try something new. So as we wrap this up, I want to encourage you to explore this world of having these daily rituals, no matter how small they might be. Or if you start with just 1 minute of doing something or 30 seconds, embrace them. See them as tools for you to cultivate the success that you want, the mindfulness that you want to have, and all of the fulfillment that you want to be present in your life. These very small intentional actions are the key tweaks, and they have these massive ROI for these key little tweaks. So they have an immense power to make a significant impact when you add them up over time. So thanks for joining today on the Own Your Best Life podcast. And if you're ready to elevate your days, to infuse them with a sense of purpose, I invite you to start incorporating these meaningful rituals into your own routine. And to take this even deeper, on August 30th in the Spiritual Achiever Coaching Program, we'll be coaching and training on the topic of creating more moments of this magic flow zone time through the power of rituals and flow state. So you don't want to miss it. Reach out at www.mayemson.com/contact for more information on this coaching program and how you could get started. You will figure out exactly what's next for you and then how to go do it. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.